So, you just built a cosplay armor, whether that be Iron Man or something else, and you don't know what to wear underneath of it. Well, hopefully this video can help you find out what you should wear underneath your cosplay armor. Hello everyone, my name is Kira Creates, totally not simping over this oddly hot robot on my shirt, and today we are going to be discussing what goes on underneath your cosplay armor, whether that's Iron Man, Halo, whatever. Now this can also be applied to some other cosplays as well, such as Spider-Man, which I have more experience doing since I've been doing that for, I want to say about like 3 years. And a lot of this stuff is what I also wear underneath those, so a lot of this stuff kind of applies and can go with like anything, even if you're just wearing a spandex Spider-Man suit. So a lot of things apply here. Now before we get into the meat of it here, I just want to let you guys know that this video series is sponsored by Polymaker, Print Costumes, and Dio3D, but specifically the one that's going to be covered in this video is Print Costume. They make a ton of Spider-Man suits, they can make any type of spandex undersuit, they have face shells, they have a ton of stuff, and I've been working with them for years. So if you use my code KIRAKAYA for 15% off at printcostumes.com, you will get, well, 15% off at printcostumes.com, whether that be Spider-Man, a face shell, a custom undersuit like I'm going to go over later. Just check out Print Costumes, and I have the link down below, and make sure that you use that code because it really does help support the channel. And because of you guys using that code, I was able to get this undersuit for free. So I have you guys to thank for this, so I really appreciate the support and everything. Just thank you so much for watching the channel, and just hopefully you've been enjoying what I've been putting out. Alright, so corporate soul selling aside, let's get right into it here. So there are many things you can actually wear underneath cosplay armor. There's no real wrong answer to this. Unless you're just wearing normal clothes underneath, then it's not going to really look good, will it? Because you know how armor is. They have gaps in your joints in order for you to move, unless you're super advanced and have casted joint covers with silicone or urethane or however you do it. But a lot of us who aren't kind of need something to fill in the gap there, so that way it at least looks half decent. So one main way I see a lot of people do, which I've actually never done in the entire time that I've been cosplaying, which is a totally valid thing to do, and it works extremely well. Compression wear is kind of like wearing spandex. It's a very stretchy, soft material that's very comfortable, and it's able to fit tightly on your body without feeling constricting or limiting your movements. Now, when you're in a cosplay armor, you're not really the most mobile person in the world, but it helps a little bit to be comfortable. So just for the sake of this video, I bought some compression wear here because, again, I never really had to buy any or own one. So here's a compression long sleeve. Now, a lot of compression wear you probably want to get in black, because black is honestly the most neutral color that you could have to fill in those gaps, because it's not really going to draw any attention to the gaps if you're wearing something like pink or something that's going to be like jutting out. So black is a very safe color to go with. So this is what the long sleeve looks like. I also suggest wearing compression socks as well, so that way there's no like loose white socks being shown through your armor or anything like that. And plus, these guys are pretty thick and very stretchy and very comfortable. And then finally, for compression wear, we have compression pants. These are basically male leggings. Again, very stretchy, very comfortable, and works very well. And another thing to take into heavy consideration is what color your armor is. So if you have a much brighter colored armor, and in the reference material, the gaps do have like a certain color to them. Now, say for example, you're wearing an earlier Iron Man suit, because a lot of earlier suits, all the joints were covered by a red joint cover, and the majority of the newer ones have silver ones. So if you're doing an older fashion or comic style Iron Man suit, you might want to get red compression wear to help blend in with the armor better. And so next up on this episode of Jackass is probably the most important piece of cosplay wear that you could probably purchase. But before we do that, in order to actually see that part, I actually have the video locked behind subscribe wall. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and like the video, so that way you can support the content, and also make sure they get notified of new content by being subscribed, and also hit the bell icon just to make sure. And if you're feeling generous, hit the join button too. I'm kidding, there's no actual paywall. That's not a thing. There should never be a paywall for a YouTube video. That's clownish. So the most important piece of hardware of any male cosplayer's arsenal should be, and should always be, a dance belt. This is basically really tight, thick and spandexy underwear. Prevents your junk from hanging around, because if you're wearing a Spider-Man suit, I've been doing this since I started cosplaying Spider-Man, nobody wants to see your junk. Nobody, especially if you're at a con and kids are running up to you and like that's all out. And then you see mama over here being like, come on, little Jimmy, that guy's a freaking weirdo. Get away from him. No! Nobody wants that. I don't want to see kids seeing that. That's gross. Wear a dance belt. Even if you're wearing a big cod piece like the Mark 40, just wear it because you never know what's going to happen. And speaking of not knowing what's ever going to happen to you, this also helps keep your junk in one place so that way it doesn't accidentally flop somewhere where it's not supposed to, and then you get the biggest armor pinch of your life and you may never be able to have kids again. Just ask Frankly Built how that feels. Dance belt, do not skip on this. This stuff is so important, but for some reason this costs way more than it should. But just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And next up, you're gonna need something to go on underneath your gloves, especially if you have exposed finger joints. Now, what I would use if I was using just compression wear are these spandexy gloves. Well, they're not really like full-on spandex. These are more of a satin material that I have for my Murder Drones cosplay, which that video should be coming out some point in the future. So that's another reason to subscribe if you like Murder Drones. I am really scratching at the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, these guys are very simple to put on. Just slip them on and then boom, they're on. That's all you really need. They feel nice on the hand. They cover up all your joints very well, and they just work great. So if you're using compression wear, use some type of spandex or satin gloves like I have, and you can get these things in any type of color imaginable. So absolutely get them to cover up your finger joints. They're great. And then next thing here are getting some nice shoes. Now I suggest getting some cheaper shoes, but also make sure that they're comfortable. You can make cheap shoes really comfortable. The soles I'm pulling out are not for comfort, they're just for rising it, but it's the same concept. So if you end up getting some cheap shoes, make sure that you get a sole insert that helps pad your feet, because if you're at a con, most of the floors are cement and you're gonna be on there for hours. So you wanna make sure you're comfortable in your cosplay armor. Now I suggest getting some Dr. Scholl's shoe inserts or something similar of that nature, so that way your feet are nice and comfortable, especially if you skipped out on money on the shoes. And also you could use them in your normal day-to-day shoes just to make your life a lot more comfortable as well. These inserts are actually 1-inch risers, which is another thing you can do in your cosplay armor. I am 5'7", but on all the dating apps I'm 6 foot. So these guys make my height increase by about 1 inch. Now these ones in particular, I don't know where the other inserts are, but you can see the holes on the bottom here. I can add more inserts to increase my height. Now these shoes in particular as well increase my height. So these are 2-inch platform lifter shoes. I believe I just searched up lifter shoes on Amazon and I put in like 2 inches or whatever, because I wanted to make sure my height would be increased substantially to at least 5'10", because I believe Robert Downey Jr. is about 5'10". And so I got these really nice sneakers. I did paint these blue. I was gonna make a video on this, on how I like painted cosplay shoes and make them work for an armor. These are some really nice looking shoes, and they cost like $80. I could have gotten some pairs way cheaper, but I was honestly going more for the aesthetic more than anything, because I kind of like the design of the shoe. It looks really cool. So I'm fine with spending $80 on these, but God, you don't need to at all. But if you want to make yourself taller and more comfortable in a suit, make sure to get some lifter shoes, and make sure to get a nice padded insole like some Dr. Scholl's or a lifter sole, just to make sure that you're either comfortable or you're increasing your height, just to give yourself more of a bigger presence. And that's especially important if you're doing a Spartan armor, especially as Master Chief, because you need to be tall and imposing. So with all that being out of the way, this is the method for undersuits that I recommend more than anything else. This is a Lycra spandex undersuit that is custom designed. So I had one of my buddies from the Spider-Man community back when I built this guy back like 2 years ago at this point, JS Corruption. I will have him linked down below because he's an excellent pattern maker. If you're interested in getting an undersuit pattern design, he doesn't make the undersuits, but if you want to get a pattern design, or if you want to commission him for a Spider-Man suit, go ahead, hit him up, because like he does great work, as you could see here, because not a lot of pattern makers I talked to wanted to take it on. He was the only one that did. And I talked to like 5 different pattern makers, so it's kind of crazy. But yeah, he designed this undersuit with a bunch of tech lines and stuff like that and designs. So basically I sent him a ton of reference images of the Mark 40 from both online and my Hot Toys, which I have like right up here, of like all the joints, all the exposed pieces or possibly exposed pieces, including the neck design, because I wasn't sure at the time if I was going to use her neck or not. Turns out I didn't end up using the neck, so this guy came in clutch. So if you're you're gonna have any type of design or anything in your joints, make sure it looks like the joint covers or whatever, because I had to make the entire arm here look ribbed, so that way this entire arm basically looks like one giant joint. And he did a similar thing with the legs here. They're a little bit wider because they're legs, but yeah, this is also entirely ribbed. He also has some detailed designs right here in the thigh area where that gets exposed because of the gaps. He also has some design here in the shoulders as well. It's just super, super nice. And just look at that neck print, dude. Look at that beautiful neck print. I am so happy with this thing. So the back zipper here is just a basic straight back zipper. It's no U-shape or anything like that, which on Print Costumes, because it's a Spider-Man and cosplay site, they have a ton of options for their bodysuits, like the type of zippers. So like I said, straight back zipper. You don't need a U-shape because that's just for more like fancy schmancy stuff. You don't really need that. And it also has a crotch zipper because the cod pieces on both of my suits are removable. So in case I have an emergency and I need to go, I can go ahead and do that. The undersuit has no other fancy options on it. The rest of it is just the print here, which looks absolutely fantastic. So the Lycra spandex undersuit is definitely the option that I would personally go for, and which is the option I did personally go for. And if you have the ability to, absolutely go for it. I just say that because it is definitely way more expensive than the compression wear. Because in order to get that design, you have to commission a pattern maker to do it because, well, there isn't really any Iron Man undersuit designs that really exist for this thing. So you have to kind of get it custom done either by commissioning someone or learning how to make a pattern by yourself. So I kind of got this at a steal from JS Corruption. He charged me 30 bucks for a commission, but he told me how complicated it was, so I feel like he might have increased his prices since then. I don't know, you'd have to message him if his commissions are open and how much he charged for something like this. So all this compression wear that I bought to show you guys was only 26 bucks for everything. That spandex undersuit itself cost $77. But because of my 15% off code, it only costs around like $63, I think. And that's only if I would have spent money on it, but thanks to you guys, they sponsored it, so thank you very much again. So make sure that if you do end up going this route and you go to Print Costumes, use my code KIRAKAIA for 15% off. It does help save you money. And also they do charge shipping as well, so basically the amount of money that that code takes off basically pays for the shipping. So take that into heavy consideration if you're more budget conscious about your build, because compression wear works very well. It's been used for decades and it has not failed. It is a fantastic main option. And then there's one more quick thing I want to go over because I can't really find it right now, but balaclavas are very cool. So I use one for the Mark 42. It's basically just a mask that just has your eyes exposed, or like you stretch it down and just like this section of your face is exposed. Oh! But basically it does multiple things. One, it helps cover up your head and neck. Second thing is that it will help catch sweat in case you're sweating inside your helmet or your mask, whatever it is, because I've been using them under my Spider-Man masks so they can help make your mask and helmet less sweaty and less gross. And also in case you have it pulled over your face, it can help catch any spit that comes out of your mouth that would get on the helmet or make it all gross that way. Balaclavas are fantastic. I highly suggest you get one, and I will have everything linked down below just to make everything super easy for you guys, just to be able to come to this video and just look at what you need and then go down, click it, and get it. So that's pretty much everything that I recommend you wear underneath your cosplay armor or Spider-Man suit or whatever. There's not really a whole lot to this. You just kind of need to know what there is out there, what options you have, what each option does, the pros and cons, and just be able to make your decision from there, and boom, find the resources, which I should have the resources here, and get it. So this isn't the second to last Mark 40 video that I'm making, which if you click this video from your recommended feed, I am making a full Iron Man Mark 40 YouTube series, which this video is a part of. And depending on the time you're watching, it's either still coming out or it's been out. So make sure you check out the playlist. I'll have it linked at the end card here. And it's just been an awesome blast to be able to build this and meet the people that I have through this series. So make sure to check that out, as well as my other content as well. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like if you like the video, comment down below what type of cosplay that you're going to be using some of this stuff for, and make sure to check out my other content as well on other platforms like Instagram, where I post all my cosplay pictures, as well as like all my reposted YouTube shorts, which they end up being reels first and then they come on the shorts later. And go to my TikTok for some reason. And like I said, if you're feeling generous, hit the join button to help financially support the channel as well, because cosplay is very expensive, and in order for me to show you guys this stuff, I need money. So that helps a lot. And yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. And until next time, where I buy 50 layers of compression wear so that way I have full protection when I go to your mom's house. And I will see you guys later. Touch grass. Bye-bye.